Okay, ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gents. As I've told all of you, the ladies and gentlemen part comes from a young man of British descent named Ben Lowry. And that's how he introduced his videos, and I liked it. So I borrowed it from him. He's not using it anymore, so you can have it. Well, so I'm going to use it. I do want to let you know that oftentimes I tell you about health issues and all that stuff. Won't be talking about it in the near future. We'll let you know that I am extremely tired. I know, we can hear it in your voice. Well, even if you couldn't hear it in my voice, you should be listening to my words and hearing me tell you that I am tired. I've already yawned twice. I told myself within the next 30 minutes I'll probably yawn about 5 more times. So I'm right on track. This video will not be long. I don't have the energy for it, people. I am tired. I'm also dizzy because I took a sleeping pill. Oh, that's probably why you. No, you ignorant mother. That ain't why I'm tired. I took the sleeping pill because I want to make sure I get some rest. Okay. Alterel. If you haven't heard of Alterel, Alterel comes in a nice little colorful box, and it's 60 capsules in a box. It costs roughly $17.99. You can find it at Walgreens, Walmart, and Rite Aid. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I am not advertising. I am not a sponsor of Alterel, but I am a promoter of Alterel. Why? Because it's the first natural. It's all natural. Mama, he says it's natural. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all natural, and it's the first product I've ever had where I get to go to sleep and stay asleep. I used to take a muscle relaxant that did the same thing for 14 hours, but it did have a lingering side effect. And let's just say I can't take it anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bills of exchange. Anybody know what a bill of exchange is? Mama, I know what a bill of exchange. Put your hand down. Ain't nobody talking to you. Well, he says anybody. Well, you ain't nobody, okay? You ain't never been nobody. You're never gonna be nobody. You couldn't have been nobody yesterday, but you're sitting up here putting your hand up. Ain't nobody told you. Yeah, I said you ain't nobody. So ain't nobody told you to put your hand up. Okay, sorry about it, ladies and gentlemen. They're gonna be visiting for a minute. As long as I'm exhausted as I am, they will be visiting for a minute. Bills of exchange. Patrick Devine. Patrick Devine talks about bills of exchange and so many other people. I mean, you'll find tons of videos here about people talking about bills of exchange. I don't usually title my videos by subject matter, and I do that for a reason. Figure if people need the information, they'll find their way to the information. And look at all the gems we get when we listen to him, Mama. Okay, and so that's what I do. No more will there be an introduction of Eon. I saw this earlier and how they work, and I saw this booklet right here. It looked like the People's Remedy, and this was done a year ago. This is looks like something. Oh, same person. So this looks like something like Rob Ryder would do, because usually you'll see the images of a book or something when he does his videos. Ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you what a bill of exchange is? Would you mind? Would you get offended if I told you you were wrong? The Bill of Exchange Act of 1866, not where bills of exchange comes from. Bill of exchange is a medium of exchange. It was just a piece of paper that one person gave to another as a form of payment. That's all it is. You just break it down in a nutshell. It's a medium of exchange. Now I can prove that to you. No. You know me. I don't just open up my mouth out the side of my neck. I prove what I'm talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been telling you about the Congressional Act of the United States Congress. We're going to go to page 79. Now, what I've done is I've taken the document, the book called the Congressional Record for March 9, 1933, 73rd Congress, and I took that Congressional Record and I found page 79 and I printed, but I printed PDF, not printed to my printer, but printed to the Microsoft PDF printer. And I only selected the page to print, which was 79 through 83. Just that simple. That's what you need to go over because that's the, pay attention, March 9, 1933 Act. Now we got some talking to do. We can go down to the last paragraph. There. Now look, let me make sure y'all understand. We're going to stay because I didn't go here first. I was doing a consult with somebody, showing them something. And when I had to, we lost the page and I had to find it again, I stopped on 79. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it was a Patrick Divine remedy. Okay, I'm kidding, by the way. Pay attention. The first provisions of the bill validates and maintains authority exercised by the President of the United States in the Proclamation 2039 relating to the banks of the nation issued by the President on March 6, 1933. Presidential Proclamation 2039. Section 2 confers upon the President the powers bestowed under Act of October 6, 1917. Pay attention, regardless of whether or not the country is involved in war. It gives authority to regulate transactions in gold. We don't care about the gold. And to exercise such powers as are required from time to time to conserve our supply of gold, to prevent hoarding, and to prevent or protect the currency of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Congress telling y'all why they enacted the act in the first place. Y'all with me still? Let's find out a little bit more because we just needed to get some substance as to what was going on. So we're going to go down here because this is where we got to stop. We have provided a simpler and broader authority for loans by the Federal Reserve Bank upon cities. I told you I'm tired. Upon securities and collateral not eligible under the general authority of the Federal Reserve Act. That's right, they expanded the currency. Let's continue. This provision is intended for a period of 1 year with the power conferred upon the President to extend the operation for an additional year, and they've continued to extend it upon extending upon extending. Let's continue. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's do this. Because I know some of y'all is blind as a bat. Y'all can't see the screen. Okay, so we going to bring the screen to y'all because Moses and the mountain and Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? So we going to bring it to y'all. Y'all ready for this? Yeah, funky. Sorry. DOC, ladies and gentlemen. We have provided that a direct obligation of the United States, hold on, we, the United States Congress, have provided, made a law. Technically, they didn't make a law. They made a resolution, which equates to a public law, but not a law, just a public policy. Public law or public policy. Pay attention. Public law or public policies. So let's go on. We have provided that any direct obligation of the United States, any direct obligation, as long as it's associated with the March 9, 1933, it's a direct obligation of the United States. Let's continue. Or there's that conjunction junction. What's your function? Pay attention. Any notes. Any notes. Any notes. You mean like a piano note? No, not that type of note. But it said any note. No, not that type of note. You ignorant. Go on now. Ladies and gentlemen, promissory notes, Federal Reserve notes, any notes. Pay attention. Mortgage notes. Pay attention. Any notes. Pay attention. Well, what about that note my mama left me on the freezer? Go sit down. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Drafts. Oh, it's so drafty. What did I tell you? Bills of exchange. Hey, Bill, get on over here. I need you to exchange this for me. Okay? Bills of exchange. And bankers' acceptances. Oh, I'll accept that on his behalf. Come on, give it here. All of it. No, the quarters too. Come on now, right here. Yes, $1 million who? Oh, no, don't worry about it. I got this. Now, going about your business. Receipt. What century you think this is? Come on now. All right, I got this. Okay, government obligations, ladies and gentlemen. This tells you that they are government obligations. It says, we have provided that any direct obligations of the United States or any notes, obligations of the United States or any notes, bills of exchange, bank of acceptances acquired by the Federal Reserve banks may be deposited. Why aren't you depositing your bills, notes, Federal Reserve notes, promissory notes, bills of exchange, bank of acceptances, and trade acceptances in the bank? May be deposited. Why aren't you depositing it with the Treasury or any member bank? With the Treasurer of the United States or with the Federal Reserve agent, and upon these securities, what securities? These securities, what securities? These securities, what securities? Any notes? Obligations of the United States. Drafts? Obligations of the United States. Bills of exchange? Obligations of the United States. And bankers' acceptances. Upon those securities, the Federal Reserve bank notes may be issued. Ladies and gentlemen, you were right. The banks are taking your junk and they're monetizing it, but they're not giving you the money for it. They're just taking it and monetizing it. People say, well, they're putting it in our account. We just don't know it. Doesn't matter. They're still monetizing it because the law gave them, or excuse me, Congress made provisions, provided provisions for that to take place. Now it says these securities, see, these are securities, ladies and gentlemen, don't need to be a part of the stock exchange. There are securities, bills of exchange, securities, bankers' acceptances, securities, notes are securities. They're not mortgages, ladies and gentlemen. Property already has a mortgage on it. We're going to continue. In the case of deposit of obligations of the government, United States government, the issue of Federal Reserve bank notes may be for the entire amount. In other words, the issuance of Federal Reserve bank notes, because that's where they said the act provides for Federal Reserve bank notes and not Federal Reserve notes, and they agreed, Federal Reserve bank notes. So there's your reference to Federal Reserve bank notes. Ladies and gentlemen, they are to back up the entire amount. 100 cents on a dollar is what the entire amount means. So you got that? Everybody's on the same page? Well, let's see if we can flip the script and go to another part of the page. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Glass-Steagall conversation, but now it's May and Steagall. And Steagall was a big mouth, Okay, let's go on now. Sorry, Houdini. People used to say that you had a big mouth, but now I understand what they're talking about. What we do is between... Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it was Houdini. In the case of the deposit of notes, drafts, bills of exchange, or bankers' acceptances, the Federal Reserve Bank may issue, the May issue. You know, I had the May issue. I also had the June issue, but the May issue, you know, that kind of was a little bit better. Anyway, may issue Federal Reserve bank notes to the amount of 90% of the value of such securities. So now that you have proof that your mortgage note is a security that the bank has taken and has invested, you are to be paid as a result of that security. Now that you know that that security can be deposited, how come you all have never attempted to contact the bank or contact the Treasury Department and ask them, how do I deposit my promissory note as authorized by the United States Congress in 1933? What's going on, people? It's right here. It's been here the whole time. It's been here almost 90 years. It is 89 years. March 9th of this year was 89 years. Almost 90 years, people. How come none of y'all have gone and asked them, how do I do this? It says that my promissory notes are securities. Let's continue. No, that wasn't a yawn. It could have been, it was just Whitney Houston. I was waiting to exhale. Shoot, shoot. Okay. What? Shoot, shoot. Whitney Houston. All right. Let's go. 83, ladies and gentlemen. This is our friend right here. I want y'all to pay attention. We don't care about the Republican Party. What? You don't care about the Republican? Mega! Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we care about this. Our president. Uh-oh. Now they're claiming him. will doubtless ask amendments to the new law. New law? It's not a law. Well, it's a public law, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, they didn't change the Constitution. They just added a public law, public policy. That's all they did. The gold clause of the Constitution is still there. Remember, it was an act to abrogate the gold clause. You can't abrogate the gold clause, which is part of the so-called Constitution, according to them, by a simple act of Congress. No, there are provisions in law that allows them to amend the Constitution. But to do an amendment to the Constitution is no easy task. There's a lot of work with that. Okay? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have some things around here that I have to take care of. So you guys will have to excuse me for just but a moment because I have to turn something off because it was necessary. And about 10 more minutes, I'm going to go and lay myself down. Let's get back over here, ladies and gentlemen, so y'all get it. It says amendments to this new law when conditions are more normal, when the conditions are ever going to be normal. There is no such thing as normal conditions. Things have never gotten better on this planet. Go ahead. Name one year where things got better. Every single year has progressively gotten worse. Go ahead. Name one year where things got better. Oh man, this was the best year of my life. And what happened the year after that? Like I said, name one year that things have gotten better, and you can't because it's never happened. Things have never gotten better, not even after the flood. Okay? There was work to do. Anyway, let's continue. When it is better understood. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to understand it. So let's continue. Under the new law, the money is issued to the banks in return for government obligations. Government obligations, didn't I tell you the first time? And please understand, when I tell you I've been doing this for a while, everybody else was saying government obligations was other stuff. They weren't saying that this was the government obligations. We just read that these are government obligations, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that. I said, because I'd never seen this before, like this. But when I saw that so-called quote from the act, would y'all leave me alone? Uh-oh, hey, gotta go. They talking to y'all, talking to each other about y'all. They talking to people about SAPAC stuff. They're working on SAPAC tax credits and everything. I'll explain it at the very end of this video so y'all know what's going on, because I promise y'all I would let y'all know what's going on. Yeah, Eon ain't gonna talk to y'all no more, but I can tell y'all. So y'all, let's get this going now. It says, under the new law, the money. What money? The money that comes from the people. The money that is backed and worth 100 cents on the dollar because it is backed by the credit of the nation, which comes from the people as it represents a mortgage on all of the homes of all the people in America, as well as all of their property. Well, I'm my own property, ladies and gentlemen. How are you going to mortgage me? We got a lot to talk about, but not today. You haven't been hearing from me because we've been doing a lot of work. That's why I'm so exhausted. Ladies and gentlemen, the website, we finally have a web hosting company that we can live with. Been testing them out, been putting them to the test, been questioning them. And you know what? Despite the fact they're not perfect, their customer service has been on point. They have provided a lot of help. So right now, SACOM is up and all the other websites are up with the exception of Eon. AmeriLegion is up, but there is a problem with AmeriLegion and the form for you to fill out. I'll take care of that tomorrow. Sorry I couldn't do it before then, but there's just been too much work to do. I got work to do. I got work to do. Anyway, let's continue to read, shall we? The money. What money? Pay attention. Bills of exchange, drafts, notes, trade acceptances, and bankers' acceptances. But I thought you just said those were government obligations. Look here, you ignorant, stupid moron. Go back and take a look at 12 U.S. I ain't nobody's ignorant, stupid moron, you stupid mother. What'd you call me? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I want all of you to understand. Go back and read 12 U.S.C. 411. You'll find that the money, the Federal Reserve notes, are government obligations. So they are money. Well, bills of exchange, they're a medium of exchange, so they are money. Drafts are a medium of exchange, so they're money. Notes are a medium of exchange, so they are money. So again, the money will be worth 100 cents on a dollar because it is backed by the credit of the nation. Who backed it? The people did. It represents a mortgage on all their homes. Why? Because Congress provided for that. So go back and read this again and see if you don't have a clear understanding when you put page 79 together with this. So let me ask you a question. Why are you fighting for your homes? Why are you all going through foreclosure? Why don't you just highlight what congressional intent was? Why don't you take your note and deposit it like you were supposed to? Pay to the order of. It's a check. Why don't you deposit your note like they told you to? Because you're not. But that's what we were trying to tell you. AmeriLegion has a plan. That's what it's doing for everybody because it's relying on this law. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at their website. It is solely based on this information that they're relying on. Now, if you don't understand, look at the website. Look at all of the information there backing and proving what they're saying. But again, I just found page 79 today. I hadn't read this whole thing. The parts you've seen me highlighting is what I've read. So I'm going to tell you, please go over page 79 through 83. There is where your remedy lay. By the way, the courts cannot outdo this. They cannot challenge this. The moment they challenge this, they now say that this is not law. If this is not law, give me back my gold. Oh, no, shut up. If that doesn't exist, give me back my gold. What are you talking about? All right, you pay attention. All of y'all, pay attention. The gold that is given up by the people in the present crisis, which still exists today because we're still in the banking holiday, should be delivered to the government. It should be used to issue additional money. That's you. Okay? Upon which the people will not have to pay interest while it is in circulation. Ladies and gentlemen, why are you guys paying interest on your mortgage loan? Right here, you have the law where you're not supposed to be paying interest. When the banks want to take you to court, because remember, they collect the interest first, they cannot collect interest. Why? Because the money is coming from you. You are backing the money. How can they charge you interest on something you are providing? You are not borrowing money. You know, hey, you want to know what your problem is? Ladies and gentlemen, your problem is you haven't discharged the debt that you've created. Yeah, see, remember, the money comes from the people because the money comes from the representation of a mortgage on you and your property. But what you haven't done is done what Congress gave you the opt to do. The opt out, what? Is to discharge it upon payment. When is it paid? The moment you sign whatever it is you're signing, the note, the bill of exchange, the trade acceptances, or the draft. That's when it's paid. But you're not discharging it. You're just creating it. That's why you're being taxed. So stop creating debt. Start writing off your debt. That's what AmeriLegion is doing for people. That's why we put the organization together. Ladies and gentlemen, it took almost 6 months of training these individuals to be on the same page. I like the fact that they're just about there. When I say just about there, we have a couple of little kinks that we have to work out. But this, I like the group that we put together. Now remember, I'm not part of AmeriLegion. I really am not. Just like I'm a part of SAA in that I'm a subcontracting arbitrator. But I don't run SAA. I only run SACOM and EON. Talking about the eon.tv, many of you have been asking about it. Please understand, we had to get the website up and we've been having a lot of problems. Let's just say this, there's been a lot of interference with us putting the website up. Been a lot of interference. I can't tell you that it's coming from some government agency, government agents. I can't tell you where it's coming from, but I know it's happening everywhere we turn, everywhere we look. Okay? What I can tell you is the websites are up, but our emails are not working. So if you're emailing us within the next 3 days, please understand that there's nothing we can do about it because they have to correlate the emails, and we're working on it. So give us time. Time. Chance. Don't it hurt so bad? Color me bad, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So there you guys are. Now, I did say that I was going to cover some things at the end of this, so let's get rid of that and let's go to Sky Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, what I did not mention, and so I'm glad those of you who stayed around for the SATCOM information. What I did not mention, ladies and gentlemen, is that when we're doing securities and we're getting ready to offer securities, we cannot publicly announce that we're getting ready to do this and do that because it's against the law. Okay, we're letting you guys know that because a lot of people wanted us to talk about securities, wanted us to talk about this, talk about that, and we kept telling them the law won't allow us, and they couldn't understand it. It is the Security Exchange Act and the several other securities acts that have provisions in it to protect you. But I also wanted to protect you. That's why the job was when we came up with the idea for creating these securities, these government obligations. Pay attention. We knew, we just needed to know how to put it together. When we came up with the idea of creating these government obligations, ladies and gentlemen, what did we have to do? We had to make sure that you got your money's worth at the beginning. So for the services we're being provided, I assure you, I guarantee you, the work has already been done. You've already been taken care of for the amount that you contributed. But here is the problem. This is the reason why none of your paperwork has been sent out to a single one of you. Would you like to know? It is a legitimate reason. It is a legal reason, not a lawful reason, a legal reason. We had to do, even though we have the tax credits by law, we had to do the 1099s. For us, we hadn't done that. We were more focused on doing the assignment of the tax credits, and that's all been done. For each one of you, your assignment of tax credits have been done. Okay, we just have a matter of a couple more documents, which can be done in no time, and sending it out to you guys. That's the only thing, and every document you get will have a seal on it, but we're trying to make sure that we maintain value with that seal. With that information that I showed you earlier about Congress and its intentions, I guarantee you'll maintain your value if you understand how to carry it forward. Now, hold on, got one more group to talk about. A lot of people have been doing arbitrations. They knew when they got arbitration that it was legal for them to do it. The only problem is they didn't know how to enforce their arbitration. They were having a real difficult time. Sorry about the, yep, didn't want to do that, but that tired. Okay, they're sorry. I told you I was exhausted. Ladies and gentlemen, those who have arbitrations and they've gone into court and the courts have ignored them, you guys don't understand. As long as you notified the other party and as long as they were lawfully in default, if you use one of the contracts from the site, this is the one thing you need to understand and know. It had a clause in there that gave the individual the right to waive their right to notification. So even if somebody said, well, I didn't get notified, didn't matter because they agreed to it. Now people say, what makes those contracts binding and legal? What makes them binding and legal? The law. To this day, we can show you case law after case law that says as long as they were notified and they didn't show up at the arbitration hearing, and the arbitration hearing doesn't have to be in person. You can have a de novo arbitration hearing because why? It's a petition for summary judgment if they are in default. You're just petitioning for summary judgment. Well, we have that case law. We have tons of it. So we're not trying to prove anything anymore. It's already been proved. So, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing we have to do is discharge the debt and then forgive the debt and then apply to the Treasury for the dividends. Now, of course, at the beginning, they're not going to pay it out, but that's why we have the Congressional Act so that either they pay it out or they look like fools in front of the entire public when it comes to the Munzay. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I really, sorry. If you would have taken a look at the seconds on the clock, you would have saw that's how long that yawn was. I really would love to remain on this and explain more, but if you see, if you pay attention, the energy I had at the very beginning is gone now. Couldn't get it back if I wanted to. I couldn't help it if I wanted to. I couldn't help. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's just I got the music in me. I got the music in me. I got the. Oh, my bad. Like I said, I apologize. I apologize. Oh, believe me, I do. That was Anita Baker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, told you it's just music. He's like a soul child. I'm gonna get off of this mic. I'm gonna say I do hope that some of you can get the value of the information at the beginning of this communication. But please understand, those of you who have arbitrations, we got your back. We weren't going to leave you hanging out there. It's just it was going to take a minute. So now we're going to discharge the debt by forgiving it. You see, we are discharging debt. We're doing it the right way. Get on out of here. God, just popping up all over the place. We're discharging debt, people. Discharging debt. Okay? So we are discharging debt. And by discharging debt, we have the right to forgive the debt. We can prove that there was an arbitration hearing. We can prove that they were notified. As long as there was a bona fide debt, there is no court that can interfere with that process. And once we prove that there is a bona fide debt, what do? We do one little simple thing. You know what? I like that right there. I like that. But I know that area will be very tropical and very humid because there's too much green grass there. Anyway, so all we're going to do is take and create a record for you. A record that not only has the support of the credit bureaus, but the support of the federal government. So that if you need to go to court, you have your proof, you have your documentation. We'll even give you a copy of the case law, which shows that all you need to do is tender payment. Wait till we talk about dollar for dollar. Wait till we talk about how every dollar is equal in value. Wait till I explain to you why they can't have a $5 bill being worth more than a quarter. Now remember, go look at your quarters. They're all quarter dollars. Excuse me, they're all dollars. Sorry, didn't you say quarter? No, they're all dollars. Go look at your quarters. It says right there on it, dollar. But it says quarter. Doesn't matter if it says quarter. Doesn't matter if it says half. Doesn't matter if it says twinkle, twinkle, little star. It still says dollar. And I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. The way Congress wrote the act, it is dollar for dollar. So it doesn't matter if it says it's $100, it's still a dollar. They're all equal. No bill is worth more than another bill. Okay? Sorry, bill. Just that simple, people. But the depositing of your bills of exchange, and now you're understanding that, wait a minute, all of their paper is equal in value. We'll talk about that. Got a video coming up. We're going to talk about that. But we needed to do this to let you guys know that AmeriLegion is up and we are getting ready to start helping you all discharge your debt. As far as going into court on the premise that, wait a minute, I don't owe y'all no money. Here's proof. This has already been discharged. Federal government has already said it's been discharged. You can use AmeriLegion to do that for you because that's the other reason why they're there. Okay? To help document that you've discharged that debt in the aid of government. Take care of everybody. See, even couldn't even say everybody a second ago, because I'm gonna be a zombie in a moment. Oh, I love zombies. Oh God, take care of yourselves, people. Gotta go.